Hi there, ready to add some interest onto your memory keeping? So come join me and I'll show you how to create an interactive page for your next memory keeping layout. So I'll see you in a bit. Hi there, Natalie with you today with a new episode of Inspired by a Card with Natalie. And today I'm actually going to use the Note for You stamp and die set to create an interactive element using inspiration from Jenny Colasico. She's in the design team and I loved her card. So you're going to see it right now. She actually created an envelope and created a card using the scallop border that comes in the Note for You die set. And I'm going to use it in a different way for my page. So I am going to start by creating the background or the paper for this interactive element, and I'm choosing to actually use washi tape. I'm using this is just copy paper. I use premium copy paper, so a little bit sturdier than the regular one, and I am using the Gold Splatter blush washi tape and also the Gold Splatter Cosmic Berry washi tape to cover the page. Once I have them in place, I'm going to cut the panels. I'm going to take the scallop border from the Note for You die set, and I'm just gonna go ahead and cut as many scallops as I can from those two panels. And my idea is, if you see, I was inspired by both the card and the envelope that Jenny created. When she created the envelope, she stamped the image of the border so that it went in an ombre effect, and then she used the scallop edges to create the front panel. Instead, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna alternate the colors of blush and the Cosmic Berry to create two gates, two folds to create like a gate opening for my folder. So I'm bringing the idea of the envelope, but creating an interactive element. So what I have done, I've cut two pieces of paper. This is premium paper, copy paper, and then I've cut them to 3.5 inches by 3.5 inches in width by 8 inches in height. I am gonna make sure that I glue all the little borders that I have, the scallop borders, right along the center line, the edge of the paper, alternating, like I said, starting with blush, then I'm gonna go with Cosmic Berry, and I'm gonna alternate, and I'm gonna make sure that when I do the gluing, I'm using my precision glue for this, that I go line by line, so that I make sure that the lines coincide in the two gates. And it's gonna take me some time to do this, but it was all worth it. And again, that's one of the reasons why I'm using paper, so it's not too heavy, especially because this is going to be one of the inserts in my album. So once I glued all the scallop borders together, I'm going to use my scoring board just to mark the edge, the final edge of the borders that I created. And that's going to be right at it's going to leave me a 1/2 inch on the right and a 1/2 inch crease on the left. I'm just going to go ahead, create my line. I'm going to fold the extra piece of paper, and that's going to create my flap. It's going to create the interactive element, the little flap. Now, when you add this onto your pages, you need to cover the inside of it. So my choice, I'm going to work with a lot of washi tape today. I'm using the Gold String washi tape. This tape is 3 inches wide, so it's just going to cover the flap perfectly. So I'm going to cover the two sides, the left and the right hand side of my little interactive element. And then I'm going to use my pair of scissors to cut that little flap, that 1/2 inch flap that I have left over. Just cut a little notch at the corners. Think of it, little triangles. That way when I attach it onto my page or onto my photo, you have those nice crease line, and nothing's going to be sticking out. So once I have that ready, I actually cut a piece of cardstock to 6 inches by 8 inches, which is the size of my, I'm gonna say that's the size of my album. And this here I cut, like I said, cardstock. This is 65-pound cardstock, so I wanted something a little bit heavier. But I'm gonna bring some washi tape. I wanted a washi tape that combined the blush and the pink and the Cosmic Berry, so I went with the pink watercolor washi tape, and I'm gonna cover the panel completely with this. You're gonna see that there's gonna be washi tape kind of sticking outside of the edge of my panel, and I'm okay with that. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna cut the excess, and then I'm gonna flip my cardstock, and I'm gonna use my bone folder too, just to burnish the edges and also just create those folds. That just creates a nice clean edge on the panel in this case. once I have it, you're gonna see again, I'm gonna cut little notches at the tops, at the corners, and that's just gonna provide like that clean edge when I create the folds, and then I have my panel completely covered and ready to go. And I'm okay if the back doesn't look like the neatest, because it's gonna be hidden on top of my actual my insert on my page. So now that I have it ready, it's all about gluing those gates or those flaps that I created. Now I need a strong glue for this, so I am using red line tape for this. 2mm. This is 2mm red line tape. You're gonna see that I'm gonna put it right on my flap, the 1/2 inch extra piece of paper, and then I'm gonna glue this to the back of the pink panel that I created with the washi tape. And that's just gonna create, think of it as creating a gate, like a fold, a flap, whichever way you call it. And I'm gonna do that on both sides of my panel, and that's gonna create that opening. So you're gonna see how easily I created that interactive element. Now the picture that I'm gonna put right here, it's almost 6x8, a little bit smaller. It's a picture of my goddaughter, who is my niece too, on her confirmation a couple weeks ago. Before I glue the picture, I'm actually need to create the closure for my gate, because I cannot leave it open. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna mark at the the center of the page, so at the 4-inch mark from the top or the bottom, doesn't matter. I'm gonna go around a 1/2 inch inside of each from the center line on each one of the flaps. I'm just gonna punch holes in it, and I'm gonna use that to create the closure. Sorry, you're gonna see that I just added the photo. I'm just using some twine. It's actually blush with a little bit of gold, because I have those tones in the washi tape, and I'm just gonna cut 2 little pieces of string, and I'm gonna loop them to each one of the holes. I'm actually gonna loop a little charm on the left hand side of on the left hand side gate, because I want to make sure that when I tie it, you have the little charm hanging there. So I just created a knot, and then I'm just gonna make sure that when I have it on my page, I create a single tie so that it's easy to open and close. And that's about it. You're gonna see in the close-ups in a bit that I actually created a second piece for my page just to have the complete look. And for that, I just used repeating elements. So I brought a little bit of washi tape, more of that border that I used, a scallop border, but I added a little bit of stamping. I just added a simple flower just to help me with the background, but that's about it. It did take some time to create. You're gonna see right now that I'm just gluing it onto my insert that goes on my album, so it's a little bit bigger. Again, I am going to use red line tape just so it doesn't move and it stays like it's really strong tape. And that I love how this turned out, and I love the way that Jenny created her card, and it just gave me the inspiration to create, combine her envelope with the card to create this for my album, and I love it. I'm sure that I'll come up with a new idea based on the same card for another insert, and I hope you try it. This is a great technique that you can apply also to cards. Think of it as creating a gatefold for a card, or just bringing that extra texture, because it adds a lot of texture and dimension. As always, if you have any questions, remember that you can always contact me. Remember to check the blog to check out more details and all the material that I use for this page. You can see more details and also the second part of this project. Like I said, I just follow some of the basics of this page on the other side, and that's about it. As always, do not forget to subscribe to the channel. There's always great content being added. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to see you in the next episode of Inspired by a Card with Natalie. Take care, guys.
Hello crafters, Jen here. For more tips, techniques, tutorials, and to discover which paper crafting products are right for you, subscribe to Altenew's YouTube channel. Make sure to hit the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Thanks for watching.